So, you're running a small business, and let's be honest, digital marketing can feel like this huge, complicated puzzle. Well, today we're going to break down the blueprint, a simple 6-week plan to help you get real results and fast.
Does this sound familiar? You've got a fantastic business, you know your product is top-notch, but your online marketing just isn't clicking. You know, you're putting stuff out there, you're trying, but the growth, the leads, they just aren't coming. It is so frustrating, right? And listen, you're not alone. This is a super common problem.
But here's the really good news. You don't need a crazy budget or a giant team to make a real impact. It is totally possible to build a powerful and effective digital marketing plan in just 6 weeks. And that's exactly what we're going to lay out for you right now.
So let's call it the 6-week challenge. And look, this isn't some high-level abstract theory. This is a practical roadmap to success. And to guide us, we're going to use a proven framework that's going to help us cut right through all the noise and give your plan some real structure.
Okay, so the framework we're going to lean on is called SOSTAC. Now, don't get hung up on the acronym. All you need to know is that at its core, it's a simple, logical guide to get you from point A, where you are right now, to point B, where you want to be. It's the secret sauce that makes a plan actually work.
Okay, so this is what that roadmap actually looks like. These are the 6 steps of SOSTAC: situation, objectives, strategy, tactics, action, and control. See how each one builds on the last? It creates this complete, really solid plan. This is going to be our guide for the whole 6 weeks.
All right, first things first, we got to find our bearings. That means getting a really clear picture of our current situation and then setting some solid objectives. I mean, think about it. You can't really map out a journey if you don't know your starting point and your destination, right?
And that all begins with asking a really simple question. Where are we right now? This is the situation analysis part of SOSTAC, and it's all about doing a quick and, more importantly, honest audit of where you stand online today.
And look, you're busy running a business, so this doesn't have to take months. We're talking about a rapid, focused audit over just a week or two. You'll focus on 3 key areas. First up, your customers. Who are they really? Next, your competitors. What are they up to online? And finally, your internal strengths. What assets, like your website or your email list, do you already have to work with?
All right, so once you've got a handle on where you are, the next question is pretty obvious, right? Where do we want to go? This is the objective step. We're taking all those insights from our audit and turning them into clear, meaningful, and measurable goals.
You know, a really fantastic way to think about your goals is using something called the 5 S's. Is your main goal to sell more? Or maybe it's to speak more directly to your customers. Perhaps you want to serve them better by adding value, or save costs through digital tricks. Or maybe you just want to create some sizzle online for your brand. This helps you tie everything back to real business results.
And this is how you take a vague idea and make it real. Just saying, I want to get more leads is, well, it's pretty useless. But a SMART goal that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, that's powerful. Just look at this example. Increase lead form conversion rate from 1% to 3% within 6 weeks. Now that is a target you can actually aim for and hit. Okay, so we know our starting point, we've got our destination, now it's time to actually draw the map. This next phase is all about strategy and tactics. In other words, the how. How are we actually going to get there?
Okay, this is a really important distinction to make. Your overall brand mission is great, but for digital marketing, you need something more specific, an online value proposition, or OVP. This isn't just your general promise. Your OVP is the specific, unique reason a customer should bother with you online instead of just clicking over to your competitor. What's in it for them, right now, on your site?
Okay, so we've got our strategy, we know our OVP, but what do we actually do? For that, we're going to use another simple framework called RACE. The best way to think of RACE is as your tactical toolkit. It helps you organize everything you do across the entire customer journey, from the first time they hear about you to the point where they're a loyal fan.
Let's break it down really quick. R is for reach. This is all about getting on people's radar. A simple tactic is just optimizing your website for specific keywords. A is for act, getting them to interact. For example, creating a special landing page for a promo code. C is for convert, turning visitors into paying customers. A great tactic here is A/B testing your Buy Now button. And finally, E is for engage, building that loyalty. A simple automated welcome email is a perfect way to do that.
All right, the plan is built. Now comes the part that really matters, making it happen. This final section is all about taking action and tracking our progress. Because let's be honest, a plan is just a piece of paper if you don't actually do anything with it and check if it's working. And putting this on a timeline is absolutely crucial. Here's a sample of how you could break it down. In weeks 1 and 2, you're doing your homework, the analysis, and defining your OVP. Then, weeks 3 and 4 are all about creation, building out that content and your landing pages. And finally, weeks 5 and 6 are for launch and, most importantly, measurement, so you can see what's really moving the needle.
All right, the wheels are in motion. Your plan is live. But how do you know if it's actually working? Well, that brings us to the final critical step in the SOSTAC framework, control. This is all about monitoring your performance to make sure you're on track to hit those goals you set way back at the beginning.
And the answer is Key Performance Indicators, or KPIs. A KPI is simply a measurable number that shows you how effectively you're hitting your targets. Just think of them as the vital signs for your marketing plan's health. They tell you if things are going great or if you need to make a change.
And the best part? You don't need some crazy expensive software for this. You can build a simple dashboard, like this one, showing where your website traffic is coming from, using free tools like Google Analytics. At a glance, you can see which of your tactics are actually working the best.
And please, remember this plan is not meant to be carved in stone. The whole point of tracking KPIs is to create a feedback loop. Your plan is a living, breathing document. It's all about this constant loop. You measure, you see what the data tells you, you learn, and then you adapt your plan. That's the real secret to long-term growth.
So there you have it, a structured plan to completely transform your digital marketing in just 6 weeks. You've analyzed, you've planned, and you've measured. So the big question really comes back to you. Your first 6 weeks are done. What's your next move? Because this isn't a one-time fix. This is the beginning of a whole new, smarter way to grow your business online.